It's important to vote because
most of us are not going to run for office. Most of us aren't even going to work for a campaign.
I mean, you're a citizen of our country.
it's our greatest responsibility as an American citizen to participate in this wonderful democracy.
It's our way of having a voice.
The purpose of voting really is to hold those in power accountable.
A lot of people take it for granted or undervalue it, but voting is one of the most important things that we as citizens of this country can do.
But how many people actually exercise this right? According to a study by Pew Research, only 2/3 of people that are eligible to vote actually do. Even then, the majority vote for either of the major parties.
If you consider yourself Republican, if you consider yourself Democratic, that's going to be the single biggest determinant on how somebody votes.
In recent years, however, we have seen people vote off the candidate's personality over their policy.
People kind of viewing presidential candidates as more cultural icons and representing maybe the type of culture that they want in America.
However, as a voter, it is important to look past party lines and the facades politicians put on.
I think it's so important to look more at the candidates, short-term and long-term impacts that they're going to have.
Especially now, since it's the second round, things are becoming very polarized again.
Finding a middle ground of I like this person's policies and like being okay with one side or the other.
Look at the candidate and determine
What does this person's policies, how will it affect my life?
Who is funding those candidates? What types of corporations, maybe especially, are supporting those candidates?
I look for someone who I know I can trust.
does this person embody change and moving the country forward instead of backwards.
One major issue to pay attention to is the economy.
Does the economy work for all Americans? Do Americans feel safe that they have a place in this economy to work?
Economic issues are always 9 times out of 10 going to be the single most important.
There are many other issues besides economics, however.
Things like immigration,
Gun violence,
Election integrity,
voting rights,
student debt forgiveness.
securing the southern border.
reproductive freedoms.
So what should you do regarding the upcoming election?
Well, the first and most important thing that I always tell my students is you got to get registered.
Everybody should be registered or register to vote when they can.
If you don't vote, then you shouldn't be complaining.
Then you'll have to ask yourself,
Why do you think what you think?
Just making sure that you know what you believe in and who you want to vote for.
Just become as informed as you possibly can.
You have to look at just everything.
And don't be manipulated by biased sources and biased messages.
Research your candidates. Don't just pick one or the other, side with one party or the other because you're told to or that's what you've believed in the past.
Always ask yourself, who's saying this and why are they saying it?
finally, it's important to recognize the struggles that have granted us the right to vote.
Young people should vote knowing that people have died for it, people have been denied the right to vote, and it's our civic responsibility to vote. That's what makes America great.
For all these reasons and more, it's important that you get to the polls and encourage others to do so this November. Our country needs you and your vote. This has been Sam VerMerris with Beyond the Rock News.